All right, we know that former NFL star Aaron Hernandez is now in prison just for a little while after being convicted of first-degree murder, and we have already learned of some kind of involvement with a prison fight. Larry Levine, former federal inmate, we always like to talk about incarceration, what happens behind bars. And so when you hear about this with Aaron Hernandez, and I talked to a sheriff who knew him quite well for a year and a half, he kept talking about his ability to charm and compartmentalize, and he saw, prison time as training camp. What do you make of the fact that he apparently was the lookout guy for this prison fight?
Well, everybody suspects he's in a gang, some kind of gang, and all the gangs have shot callers on the inside. So it's highly possible that the shot caller ordered him to act as a lookout. He may not have had a choice, and these lookouts are common. And the assault, it could have been related possibly to a gambling debt, a drug payment, simple disrespect, or maybe homosexual sex. You never know what happens in one of these places. And It's best for a fight to take place inside of a cell, because that way the violence, it doesn't spill over into the general population. Then the whole institution can jump off.
Well, here was the question, because we didn't, sorry, but on the general population notion, we weren't quite sure if he would be separated or not. And we know apparently after this whole thing happened, he was sent to quote unquote special management, Larry. This is this particular section of the prison. What does that mean?
Special management unit, it's the SHU, the special housing unit, where he's on a 23-hour lockdown. He's not going to get any visits, limited use of the telephone. He's isolated. Right now, the special investigative section, they're doing an investigation, and they're going to take him to a disciplinary hearing. Could take 24 to 72 hours, and they're going to present the evidence that is against him, and he'll have an opportunity to rebut it. And he may lose his visits for a long period of time. He may lose commissary. He may lose the ability to have a job, something. They're going to isolate him. He will be sanctioned in one way or another.
But is this the kind of thing? Is this the kind of thing where word kind of travels fast within a prison, and other inmates find out that it was Aaron Hernandez who was the lookout guy who helped with this fight? And is that seen as, is that looked on, I don't know how to say this, with approving eyes?
Well, he's a stand-up guy. Probably, well, stand-up guy as far as an inmate.
Okay, thank you.
A killer, an inmate. He probably nobody in the institution as far as inmates are talking. Even the person that got assaulted, they're not going to give up the people that beat him up. He's the lookout. He's going to say he wasn't the lookout. Everybody's going to keep their mouth shut. But right now, they've probably locked that entire institution down. Because word will travel out of the special management unit and out of his cell block that this took place, and we don't know if it was racially motivated between blacks, Hispanics, or whatever. And then they may actually turn the telephones off because they don't want inmates calling home telling their family what happened, and then it spreads to other institutions. Like in California, when they have a problem, let's say at Pelican Bay or San Quentin, that gets out, it can jump across the entire system, and you have massive violence.
That is crazy. One phone call could do that. Larry Levine, thank you.
Certainly.